This is move 10, and white is dead lost. But what's shocking is the number of players that get away with capturing this pawn, when Stockfish has since approved a response. A punishment. The minority attack is not a title to an old right-wing horror story, but a ruthlessly lethal queen-side strategy by black. A strategy we will learn by studying this beautiful example game at 2000 rating level. But first, what is the minority attack? e4 c6 d4 d5 is the Caro-Kann defense, but after takes c3 and e6, we enter the exchange Caro-Kann, in a very special map known as the Carlsbad pawn structure. It is characterized by this 4 versus 2 battle on the queen side, hence the name minority attack. An elegant middle game strategy discovered in the late 1800s. But if this is too old for you, remember, you voted for Joe Biden. And relax, because it's a very simple and very effective 3-phase plan. In phase 1, you march these 2 pawns to their death at white's camp. But what do you get in return? You get 2 weak and isolated white pawns on the queen side. The next phase of the plan is to then use your minor and heavy pieces to round up these weak pawns, and in a well-executed minority attack, the final phase would be to convert an endgame with 2 pawns to the good. Simple, methodical, inevitable. But white too has plans. He is either going to fight a hopeless battle on the queen side, or use his space advantage to launch a devastating attack at our king, a much scarier plan. Fortunately, you have the greatest chess teacher on the face of the planet, and I'm going to teach you how to defend, in 3 easy stages. This is stage 1. You get here by developing your kingside pieces to their natural squares, and castling. The pieces exist in a beautiful defensive harmony. Bishop protects knight, and knight protects the h7 weak point. The only downside is that this knight may be captured, weakening the h7 square. But this triggers stage 2. A solid, near impenetrable fortress-like formation, whose only weakness is a well-executed kingside pawn storm. And in that event, you enter stage 3. You run.
Run.
Yes, you flee towards your heavy pieces for protection. Your testosterone levels will drop drastically, but it is the best move. And here at Mortal Chess, we'll do anything for that precious rating. But in practice, unless you're playing a master-level opponent, none of your games will ever get to this position. And if they do, the time it takes for white to go through all your defensive stages, you will more than likely have broken through his queen side, made another queen, and had his king from behind. Let's study this beautiful example game that weirdly includes all the mentioned themes. e4 c6 knight f3 and d5 is the most common move order at our level. So do not be confused, because takes is still the exchange Caro-Kann, and in the next few moves, the Carlsbad pawn structure emerges. But this time you know what the plan is. Our star player develops his pieces first before executing the plan. He is a gentleman of principle. After takes and bishops develop, he enters the first stage of defense by castling. Knight d2 and white's mission is crystal clear, but the best attacking formation for black is a rook on c8, a knight on c4, and forward they march. Bishop d3, a6 and after queen h3, white has a nasty threat in this position. Pause the video and comment down below. So g6 triggers stage 2, because after takes, queen h6 and bishop g7. Take a look at this rock-solid defensive fortress. You may have seen it before, that one time you tried flirting with your crush. So white retreats, and goes back to the drawing board. But b5 is the minority attack. And after a few moves, black is ready to sacrifice his 2 brave soldiers. b4 takes, and watch how black, slowly and methodically, rounds up all these weak pawns. Queen b6. Chess is a beautiful game. White now uses his h-pawn to undermine the fortress. But black starts playing phenomenal chess. In this position white plays king g2, with somewhat hidden intentions. Black ignores. Check, and this should show you how strong this defensive formation really is. White is out of attacking ideas. So he throws more pawns at black. A risky strategy, because queen d4, and all of a sudden, whose king is under attack here? Rook protects bishop, and after a series of captures, black finally rounds up all of white's weak pawns, but also gets a bonus piece for his efforts. Amazon, and after queen h4, how would you round things up here? Be careful, because a single move can put an instant end to all your hard work and effort. Chess is a painful game. Comment down below if you can relate to this feeling. Fortunately, our hero knows what he's doing. And if I show you any more of this game, this video may be flagged 18+ for torture or something. So e4 c6 d4 d5 and takes is the exchange Caro-Kann. But what happens if your opponent doesn't capture this pawn? Watch this video to find out and make your Caro-Kann an unstoppable force. But first, buy me a beer. Welcome to the Caro-Kann.